Hello everyone, my name is Mrs Malone and I am the early years leader at Leavesden Green as well as the Explorer class teacher, and I wanted to make this short video to welcome you to our early years setting. This is our school motto, which is we learn, we grow, we fly. And the thing that I want to highlight to you before I start talking about anything else is that it says we, and you are now included within that we. You are part of our learning community and you are partners in your child's learning. And everything that I'm going to talk to you about is something we want to involve you in as much as possible and we need your support with. Our philosophy is that children learn, which makes them grow and develop, and then they have the skills and the knowledge to fly with that and to use that in a number of different ways. So you are part of that process. So within the early years, we follow the characteristics of effective learning, which we strongly believe is important for children's development and to begin their journey of formal education, because their education has already started, but coming to school just formalises that a little bit more. So an important attribute of learning is playing and exploring, and that exploration is key for children to take the time to find out things for themselves and to work out things. And that is something that we encourage throughout our early years, is lots of open-ended play, which can enable them to find out and explore new things. Playing with what they know. So a lot of the things that we have in the early years would be things that they have experienced before, which we then promote them taking further, but we also use their knowledge. This is why we spend a lot of time on our transition getting to know the children, because it's really key that we build upon what they know, and that we develop that further rather than taking big leaps or taking them in it not being connected. It's important that we have a good baseline for where to take your children's learning from, so that it builds in a strong way. Being willing to have a go is another really key attribute of effective learning, and that risk-taking element of learning, which sometimes people think is often quite big things, but actually taking a risk could be as simple as asking for something from somebody that they would normally be too shy to do, or going to get snacked by themselves for the first time. Those are the little risks that we promote all day long, as well as the big risks of your first time having a go on the monkey bars. So these are all really key skills of playing and exploring to build that engagement so that children feel part of the process. The next part is about active learning, which is all linked to children's motivation, about them wanting to learn. We want self-motivated learners who seek challenge and want to find out more and do more. So this is about developing that involved concentration so that they feel that they're in charge of that boat, that they're deciding where it goes, but we're alongside to help them facilitate them, that they're deeply invested in what they're doing. As well as that element of keeping trying. So if it doesn't work one way, they try it another way, they don't just move on. And again, we would be there to support them with that, because although keeping trying is very important, it's also very tricky and it can be quite emotional. So we are very aware that not only is learning about academic, it's also about the emotional part of what you go through when you're trying to achieve something. And then at the bottom, I've got some gold glitter, because last year when I was talking to a child about what does it feel like to feel proud, they've said it feels gold and sparkly. And that is the most amazing feeling for a child to feel when they achieve something that maybe they thought they couldn't do or that they've been working towards. We want our children to have that gold sparkly feeling of achieving things when they set out to do them. And the last characteristic of effective learning is about creating and thinking critically, which is all to do with them having ideas and them exploring those ideas. So talk is a key element of our early years, and we promote children talking through play, talking in discussions, talking one-to-one with grown-ups, talking within groups, because we want them to get used to sharing what they're thinking. And appreciating that their thoughts have a value and that we're interested to know them. That also gives us opportunities to take their thinking further. It links back to what I said about starting with what children know. We need to build upon that And the only way we can do that is by promoting thinking. So rather than telling them what to do, we would often say, well, what do you think we need to do? If there's a problem, we would ask them for a solution. If they bring us a problem, we would ask them to come up with the ideas about how we can solve it. And then we would have a go with them to try it out. And then they begin to make links in their learning. So they're linking the shape learning that they were doing last week to a puzzle that they've got at home, to the shape of the wheels outside. And we promote that because that strengthens children's learning. And then at the bottom, one of the key elements of our early years is that choice. We want to promote in children the motivation to learn, the understanding about what good choices are, and then the independence to make them choices themselves so that they can choose a path for their learning and feel supported in doing that. But also we make sure that those choices are choices that are going to develop them. So our early years curriculum is based around the prime and specific areas of the early years. The prime areas overarch everything that we do, and that's developing children's communication, their physical development in terms of their gross motor movements, big body movements, and those small body movements that are so key to processes like writing. And like I've mentioned before, the importance of the personal, social, and emotional. We want to develop a well-rounded, solid learner who feels very secure and confident in what they are doing, and has a good understanding of the process they've been through. We don't want children to achieve things and not understand the process they've been on, or not have the empathy to understand when other people are feeling different things, or when someone else finds something tricky, what they're going through. So our goal is that our learners will develop these three prime areas, and the overarching theme will be to develop them as people as well. So our specific areas are our literacy, maths, understanding the world, and expressive art and design. And these are more so the more academic vehicles that we will be encouraging in them. So all children will begin their formal learning of reading and writing, because their learning of both of these skills has already begun from birth. But we will begin to take them on the journey of the formal learning of these processes and understanding number and shape. The understanding of the world is all to do with understanding the world around them, and making sense of these so that they can link this then to further learning, and the key skills of expressive art and design so that they can share those creative moments and all of the skills that underpin being able to be creative. Learning outdoors is a pivotal part of our learning across Leavesden Green. There's two quotes which are on the screen for you, which for me highlight there's two aspects to learning outside. There is an enormous amount of benefits which has been proven to do with well-being and understanding, but also I think it's just a key aspect of childhood that children go outside and they have that open exploration in a natural setting. We are very fortunate with our outdoor areas, and we offer children the opportunities to go outside whenever possible. So what we would promote for you is that you send your child to school ready to learn. And that would include on sunny days, a hat, on cold days, a warm coat, on wet days, wellies, and rain jackets. We have welly racks in school, so they can bring in their wellies, named, leave them on the rack, and then whenever children want to put them on or want to go out and explore, they can, as well as we have puddle suits for when it's really wet, because what we don't want to do is just promote fair weather learning. We want them to realise that the learning can happen in all weathers, and actually there's a great deal of understanding the world that you can do when it is wet and rainy outside. So normally, this time of year, we would be preparing to come and visit you in your homes, which is such a lovely opportunity to get to know you and your children in their most comfortable setting. Unfortunately, with everything going on around COVID-19, we've had to adapt our approach this year, and we are currently looking to do school visits for you to come in, you and your child, and for us to meet you here. So the people that we would meet at home, we would meet in school, and it will be the teacher and the class LSA spending around 20 to 30 minutes chatting and playing, so that we can spend some time just getting to know you all individually. And it is just an opportunity for conversation. It's a chance for you to tell us any worries you might have around, oh, they don't like carrots, or they cry when it's thundering. And we can also ask you questions so we can feel best prepared. Because like I said, our approach to learning is child-led. And so we need to know the children as well as we can to make sure our provision and the learning best suits their needs. Open sessions follow these. These normally take place in September, but are going to be slightly later so that we can facilitate the school visit. These involve children coming into school in small groups, and their teacher and class LSA will be there, and it's just another opportunity for us to spend some time and to ease them into their classroom, for them to get to know where the toilets are, to get to know where the toys that they like most are. So when it comes to that first day, we've alleviated as much as the I don't knows as possible. It's also further time for them to be with their teacher and for their teacher to be with them, and also a chance to get to know some of the children in the class. So again, when they've got that first day, they already know some familiar faces. Our approach is that the first session, parents do tend to come and to stay, and then if the child feels comfortable, they come away. Some children feel very comfortable and do not feel like their parents need to stay at all. But for that first session, we leave it down to you and your choice. If you think your child would do better with you there, you are welcome to stay. If you think it's better for you to stay for a part and then sidle out of the room once they're comfortable, that's your choice. If you think actually your child is ready for this and you would be better to just leave them to play, that's yours. We do say for the second session, for you to prepare children that you're going to leave them, but then most importantly, come and pick them up after their play session. And again, that's just alleviating another first. The first time that they were left at school is in a shorter session, in a smaller group, so that we can just get a feel for how they feel about that. And we can make sure we're ready to support them on that first day. So your next steps are to watch the next videos. There is one for reception and one for nursery. And then also there will be a video posted so you can get to know your child's teacher. And then each of these videos will pass you on to the next thing that's ready for you to do. So I hope that this has been helpful. It's been lovely just talking about the September, because I know how excited I am to meet all of your lovely children and to support them in their learning. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will hopefully get to meet a lot of you soon. Goodbye.